and inserting the Feast Advanced Jump To buttons. We do have Jump To Recipe and Print Recipe buttons here. It looks like they're WPRM buttons, but what we're going to do is we're going to add a neat little table here for people to easily navigate through the rest of the recipe. So it's not here yet. We're just going to edit post. So we're going to pick where you can insert it wherever you want. Typically, I like to insert it before the first H2. So we're going to enter a new line here, Feast Advanced Jump To. Close that off, so that's the short code, that's done. Go ahead and update it. Pull open the post here. So now what we have is this little table down here. We can minimize this table, we can expand it. It's done entirely in PHP on the back end, so there's no JavaScript here slowing down the website. What it does is it just finds all the H2 tags. It's only H2 tags, it's not H3s. And it builds a little menu here for people to jump around through the recipe for. So, if I'm looking for information on whether Mexican food is heart healthy, I can click on this. All of a sudden we're down here. What this helps you qualify for are additional site links, not site links specifically, but additional links in the search results, so that if you have headers that address specific user questions, they can click on those links on the page and land directly on the relevant content instead of just having the one link for your page for people to jump to. Most people that have been doing this are, we're guilty in this case too, not quite formatting the headers correctly. So the H2 heading tags in this case, you want to use sentence case, which means only the first letters capitalized as well as any proper nouns. You also want to not over keyword stuff the headings, which is what almost everybody's done up to this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and edit our headings on this page to make this menu look a little bit cleaner. So we're still over here. Is crockpot white chicken enchilada casserole gluten-free? It doesn't sound natural. What we're going to do is we're just going to get rid of the keyword in here. Ask, is it gluten-free? There we go. That's a heading that seems more normal. Next one, crockpot white chicken enchilada casserole step-by-step. So we want to do step-by-step. Get rid of that, capital. Instructions. So that's more of a natural sounding title for this, for the reader. Serving suggestions for, so this is very much over optimized. Serving suggestions, what is this? Related recipes or side dishes. Serving suggestions, side dishes. Actually, that's a good enough title on its own. We'll leave that as is. Is Mexican food heart healthy? It's not over keyword optimized. I'd say we can leave this title as is. Just get rid of the capitalization. Are enchiladas healthy for you? We can get rid of this. Say, are they healthy for you? Can other meat be used? That's fine. And we do have an H2 at the bottom of the page here. This is a question. It's not bad to have this for user engagement, so ask them a question, but we don't want that to be an H2. That's not a correct use for an H2 tag. Historically, people have done this because they like the look of the larger size and the bold. It's not the correct thing to do. You do want to manually change that, but just leave it as a paragraph, basically. If you want to make it a little bit more bold, you can do that as well. So we're going to go ahead and update that. And when we flip back to the actual recipe, the jump to menu that we have here should be a little bit more readable. There it is. So much shorter on this. You can see that there's some formatting that needs to be accounted for. So we are removing the dashes from here, as well as any question marks, any formatting. But what that allows you to do is basically click on side dishes. If I want to know what the side dishes are recommended for this, then there we go. This is a great place to put in related recipes. Is Mexican food heart healthy? Are they healthy for you? So realistically, we should change this from all caps on here per the Google guidelines. But what we have here now is a navigation menu, which is great for the readers. They can minimize this, especially on mobile. This is a little bit nicer to have. So So shrink it down. So the jump to menu, we can close that up so it doesn't take up as much screen size. We will be coming out with a release that once the menu gets to the top of the page, it sticks down here or even overlaps this. That'll be a setting that you can turn on so that when people are scrolling down, they want to jump back to a specific part of the page, they can just go ahead and click on this and go back to the specific part of the page. But that's all that's required. One thing I will say is that I would prefer personally to add this into a custom HTML. I don't trust WordPress not to try to mess with this in a future release, so if we have a custom HTML block here, typically they're not going to want to touch that. So go ahead and update that. And taking this a step further, if you're going to be putting this on every single page, if there comes a time when you want to update this or change it, I'll save this into a reusable block. Just wait for this to finish saving. If you put into a reusable block and use a reusable block, which is a neat little feature in the block editor, we can, in here, add to reusable blocks. We can then insert the reusable block on every single page. So if we ever do end up needing to change this or removing it, it's as simple as changing it in one place and it'll do it across all the posts. So we're going to call this the, just copy the name here, Advanced Jump 2. Go ahead and save that. So now when we go into a different post and we want to insert the Advanced Jump 2, let's go ahead and do that. We'll head over to another chicken recipe, crockpot chicken spaghetti. We'll edit the post. We're not on the block editor for this, so let's switch over. There we go. We're going to convert this to blocks. And now what we can do is go ahead and insert the reusable block. Feast Advanced Jump 2. So anytime we change this reusable block, it'll change on all of the pages simultaneously. It saves a lot of editing in case of any feature changes. Jump into View Post. And there we go. So it'll load the H2s on this specific page. It doesn't save the other pages H2s, but we can go ahead and change this on any post that just in one single place because it's a reusable block, and it'll change across the website everywhere we've had it inserted. That's it. If you have any questions, leave a comment or shoot us off an email.